Turtles, heroes in a half shell. Turtle power.
You can't even beat a bunch of miserable turtles.
Welcome back to Retro Wednesday. It's Tydirium Hanger. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the 1990s Playmates Technodrome. This is the vintage one. Now, Amazon has a listing, and I think it might still be sold out, for a reissue. I'm hearing the reissue is going to be about 1.5 inches smaller, and I'm looking at some things that are different about it than this. So I went ahead and decided to get myself one of these. We're going to take a look at this. I'm going to show you all of the features. And because it's a playset, but it's also a rolling vehicle, you're going to get a lightning round. We're going to talk about this and more coming up. I do want to point out how this playset is pretty cool. It does look interesting from both the front and from the back, and overall really a cool looking playset. And then you open up the whole bunch of features, and we're going to get into the feature lightning round here in just a bit. But just taking a quick look around this entire playset, there is so much going on with it, and that's just the outside. There's way more going on inside. Features include Foot Clan weapons storage, Krang's secret laboratory, where he can get his work done, and you can actually put a Krang in there. We're gonna look more at that. Shredder's master control room. Is he looking for turtles or playing a video game? The I Spy eyeball attack. Turtle ooze pit. It's a sticker at the entryway. Spike back door. And Donatello's having a bad day. Ooze scanner. Use ooze at your own risk. Brain scrambler. Scrambling a turtle's brain. Mutant mandibles for capturing and controlling mutants of your own choice. Also has a periscope to move around the giant eye. Usable trapdoor leading to a functioning gel cell with actual opening and closing doors. Krang's escape hatch. Always missing. And the most fun part, guns. Guns, 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 and guns everywhere. Okay, starting out looking at this thing from the outside. This is opened up. This is the outside, so you get to see the whole thing. And it is pretty cool. If it's opened up and you're displaying it this way, which I never see one displayed this way, but if you are, you can operate these two guns here, which I don't know how he's supposed to fit on that platform. It's not really going to fit. I've seen some pictures of it. Cramming figures in this is pretty much how it goes. It's a lot of cramming going on, but these are quadra guns attached to this piece here, which kind of falls off easy if you mess around with it. But this is supposed to be what they hold on to control the gun. So it's interesting, it's cool, but yet the stuff doesn't fit. We've got this platform here, which can fit in on either side, and it doesn't actually have enough space for the figures. But still, it's cool, it's interesting. I'm sure there are smaller characters that would fit in there. I mean, Krang would fit perfect with all of this. Getting into here, we can open this up, and you get to see there's stickers on each side. There's a slime pit. There's this thing here. Opens up. You go into here where we can see the gel cell. And then there's stickers in the gel cell. And we can push this back into place. Probably do that here in a bit. And then coming up a little further, we have this part here. And this folds out. Now it has a gun on it also. And it's the same kind of gun. So these three guns are the same gun, unless I've got it wrong. But I believe these are all the same gun. And then opening this up, this has a little purple piece that attaches to the gun. It's like a cylinder into there. And this is the whole ramp for the eyeball to launch off. And that feature where you basically pull down on the periscope and the eyeball will fly off. But I mean, from this angle, you can't really see it. And we'll show that again here in a little bit. All right, from this side, this is the periscope where you pull on this periscope and the head will go and roll off. I don't want to, I think you can get a lot of paint scratching from doing that too much, because I've seen some of these heads really scratched up. And you can position it however you want. It's on a nice little spring mechanism, which works really well. That's a pretty interesting little piece there. Now we got these little platforms, which, so I think this little platform is called the interdimensional connection bridge, is what I think it's called. And it fits on both sides. So if you just track down another one like I did, then you can have one on each side, and it makes your opened space look a lot cooler. Now, people generally connect these, it comes with 4 of these handcuffs, and they call them mutant modules, which doesn't really make sense to me, but it's what they call it, make it sound better than a handcuff. But it's basically a handcuff to kind of hold your mutant in place once you change it with the ooze and all that. And it's got a screen on it, something else done right here. Now, getting into this laboratory that we have going on over here, I'm trying to move this around. It all holds together pretty well when you set it up, but I am moving the open setup playset around, and things sort of fall a little bit out of place. Comes a problem. Now, you can get a Krang figure, and you can put it on here. Now, I don't know about the reissues. I got a original OG vintage one. And then the arms clip on there. I'm going to show how that's done. You can just take the arm off of a Krang, and then you can put it on here. Again, I don't know if they made the tolerances the same for the modern ones to work with that, or with the reissues. I don't know. That'd be a good question to ask if somebody has one of these, and you can test that out. I have a reissue, but I have it for looking in the package instead of opening. Now, this is the escape hatch here, which is kind of cool. You've got guns from the outside, and there's handles on the inside so that you could pose your figures shooting them, or whatever, however you want to do that. There's Krang. And then he has his arms here so he can work in his laboratory. He's just a brain. All he is a brain. And then he's got a couple of stickers and decals around here, kind of showing his giant monitor and all of this stuff. Getting down here, I didn't have well, I don't even have a foot soldier. It just sounds really silly that I got a Technodrome and no foot soldiers. But there's some random accessories that I have for the figures that I have, and I just threw them in there, just however. But it's an obligatory weapons rack, and they kind of went one step further, and they have all these little things here that you can stick the weapons in. And of course, if you want to put shields in, stuff like that, and it's just something to do. Now, we have these red foot pieces that'll help hold this wall in place. This is a very kind of thin, fiddly mechanism once it's opened. It holds together closed really well, and it holds together open okay if you've got these feet in place. There's a lot of detail on the feet. It looks pretty good. Getting over here, we have these 2 little compartments, this areas to man guns and do other things. And as you can see, there's an opening that you can see out of. You can see them from the inside. So if you have figures in here and you have it closed up, you can see them from the outside. You can just kind of see their eyes peeking out. So that's kind of cool too. There's a sticker right here on this door. It looks like a splat sticker. And there's all kinds of little decals all around it to show little intricacies that's going on. Down here at the gel cell, these doors do open, and there's place right here for you to clip these on these bars right here, which is what a lot of people do, because in the proximity to this, you can put a figure on there, and that's just kind of how it showed it in the original finished commercial. Now, looking at this is the back spiked door, and it opens up. Instead of just being a door that opens, it opens up. Now, we are going to, once we put this all back together, we are going to show at the end what this is for. Sure, if you're watching this, you already know, but it's always fun to see it. But this is an entrance into the back door, and it's funny, if you're going to sneak in the back door or even come in the front door, you're walking into the gel cell. So that's so weird. I mean, hey, our friends and our enemies are all just going to walk into the gel cell. We decide if you go any further. And I want to point out that the new reissue one, blatantly, because I've had one incomplete for a long time, and these 2 little screw holes here, these 2 screw holes, on the new one is only 1 screw hole. And so it's telling me that the new one that's going to be reissued through Amazon is going to be a completely different mold. And from what everyone says, and I believe them, it's going to be a lot smaller. All right, it's time to take a look at this from this angle over here and see what's going on over here. Now, this is the Brain Scrambler, and I wonder if it's just mine, or are they all kind of getting weak over the years with this? And I do believe once they get weak and you over tighten it, you could completely mess them up. But there it goes. It says you need a rubber band. You put a rubber band on here and then around to there, and then slide the figure through. But it doesn't spin fast enough that they fall off. I don't need it, so it's not a necessity. Now, you can't close this up with this on there, so you would have to take it off. And it's got a little square peg, but you'd have to take it off and put it somewhere else in here. Like these 2. These, it will not close with these. You'll have to put them somewhere else when you go to close it up. Now, we do have a couple things going on over here. This is the ooze scanner. So one thing about this toy is that there's places to pour ooze into here, and then the ooze is going to drip on your figure. I'm not about doing any ooze. You can get some at Dollar Tree, which is now like $2 Tree, but you can get some there. You can get some at Target in the toy aisle, just kind of where the slinkies and stuff are. There's some ooze there if you want to get it. It's not exactly the same green, but it'll work. Then moving on, there's some stickers and decals down here also. But moving on up, we have Shredder's little area. Now there's a little removable red TV screen, and as I move this around, this is a little less clipped in. I'll just move that all the way. There's a TV screen in here. We get to see two stickers that look like TV screens, but this is an actual separate red piece, so if it's missing, then it's missing. And there's a couple of other decals in here also. Now Shredder's kind of a squatty looking figure, and he does fit in there like that. Sort of like that. Sort of, kind of like that. Oh, I had him in there. There he goes. There he fits. Fits in there fine, and there is pretty much everything going on the inside. So the next fun feature is this opening hatch, and it opens up, and then of course you can connect it to what? Can you connect it to the playset they put out the year before, which was the Turtles layer. And this is only a small section of the Turtle layer, but it connects like that. And there's going to be so much more we can do with this. If you have more pipes, you can make a much longer scene, so it looks like it makes sense that they're traveling through a longer area and not just this short little space that I have set up. But it is kind of cool concept, the planning ahead that they did with this playset. And of course, if you want me to, I will review the playset pretty soon, because I think I have mine complete now. But it is interesting that they come up with all that. But I find that you can find these relatively cheap, and if you want your display to look cool, you can have 6 or 7 or 8 of them, and then other things going on in between, or just have it real close like this. But I don't have the whole playset up here because that would take up the whole table and then some. All right, so I want to say that this is a pretty cool playset, that Playmates did a good job with it. I'm also going to say great job to Playmates for reissuing it and giving fans a chance to see this thing again, to get their hands on it again. I also think that makes the vintage one a little bit more affordable. Loose and maybe missing a part or two is more affordable now than it was before they announced the reissue. That's my belief. Now I got mine. I have some discoloring. I have some issues. I have some missing decals. I have some parts that probably aren't in the best condition. But I'm happy to get it for the price. I didn't want to spend $300 on one, and I got it for about half that. So I'm happy with it, but I'm curious what you guys think about this playset. What do you think about the reissue? And will you be happy with getting one that's 1.5 inches shorter, so everything's just slightly smaller for the reissue? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Have a great Retro Wednesday from Titanium Hanger. Titanium Hanger out.
They're the world's most fearsome fighting team.
We're really hip. You addle-brained idiot! I refuse to give you one more iota of my technology until you finish building my new body.
Biomechanical experiments I am conducting in the Technodrome, Krang. In a moment, the gateway between Earth and Dimension X will be open for the first time. All those weapons, guns from beyond our universe,